Alright guys, sorry about the rushed nature of this. I had to get off work, get home, and get ready for this. So we've got Gallowglass and Stars. Should be a decent match. Let me take a look who's running.
Yeah. I'll
Maybe
be
not
in
so decent.
momentarily. I'm just getting to the arena right now.
Alright, sure thing. So
I just
for those of you that missed us last week, or earlier, 2 days ago I guess, I'm Grush. With me is Rekla, and we will be casting this match for you.
Yep, and it looks like it's already started, so let's get right into it.
Kimpaz is going heavy on the cones already. Let me take a look.
Yep.
They do
And it looks like Gallowglass has their A team.
Yeah, Gallowglass doesn't have a bard, so they're going to be a little light on healing. They do have a priest, but
Yeah.
you know,
There's a choke on Bodrum already, which is a good start.
yeah, stars are going heavy on the AoE damage, so they're trying to end this quick.
Oh yeah. There is a pixie sleep on Azula. That could be big. We'll see.
If they can get her,
If they can cure it, yeah.
That's the big factor.
Kiid is doing a lot of damage to Ferg right now. Ferg is already red. He's just taking all this melee and the AoE damage.
Yeah, they're just looks like they're just taking advantage of the fact that Gallowglass doesn't have a bard with them. The AoE damage,
yeah. Yeah. Oh man, that acid blast was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. At this time, like at this point, I would just call the round and then get to a wall and probably heal up if I were GG, because they do have a little healing at least. They probably have ER up, and ER should give them a slight healing advantage. I mean, this is both kind of damage-centric teams, but...
Alright. Map is not working, unfortunately. I don't know why. That's unfortunate. I thought I was going to be ready today.
It's okay. We'll keep going. We'll get it eventually. There's another choke on Azula. Ferg's controlling pretty well, but they're still losing the damage game by quite a bit. Oh, there's a Dracolich.
And they've got nothing to deal with that, really. I mean...
No, they don't. If you had an Armsman, you could yank or something, or, you know, a Pally, but those are rare these days.
Dong to pull block.
Yeah.
They need an Aurodict.
Oh, they do, man. That match was brutal. I don't know if you saw any of it, but
I caught a good portion of it. So hopefully somebody recorded that for us, and we can go over that later. But we want to focus on this one right now.
I'll cast with head down, but there's a blind on Ferg. Let's see. Fardoc hasn't cured it yet. He might be blind.
Yeah, he is. He's quaffing potions right now.
Okay, Stars is just healing up.
They have that regenerate conclave mojo going still, and with Bodrum's mana pool, I mean the healing never stops. He's as good as a priest almost when it comes to their,
you're right. It's like having healing. Yeah. It's pretty potent. It's interesting. They're the only team that has done this, but they've done it with pretty great success throughout the past few seasons. Like it's always worked out. And they have played so long that they probably just by nature know at what time it would be most beneficial to heal up. And
Ferg does manage to cure his blind, but it looks like their whole team is going down pretty soon here, except for Symiad.
In fact, I would get a kill off right now if I were Stars. I would try to get maybe one, and then I would just start capping.
Yeah.
Because they're in a really good place at the moment.
Yeah, this is starting out quick. They don't have the healing to deal with all of that conclave damage.
There's the withstand proc.
And with the cone spam and the even the blizzard and storm spam from Azula, you know, you're gonna get withstand to come off, and then just the AoE damage that can kill you instantly. Especially as a pixie, since it's percentage health gain. You know, a percentage of pixie health is not a whole lot.
No, not at all.
And Kimpaz just getting healed. They really just have made Bodrum something of a heal bot.
Oh, Pukje may die here. They stunned after the withstand. Oh, okay, he wimpied out. Just in time.
And he doesn't have the AoEs.
Yeah, he doesn't. Kiid opening really well on Ferg.
And Symiad
Like
got
these,
Dispel Protection.
yeah, yeah.
Who
One
doesn't notice
thing
that?
you'll notice that's really good, like both Brutes and Stars have this down. The other teams don't yet. I noticed it in the first match I played tonight. Is every player knows exactly what to do, and with the best teams, you always have something that's just going to be absolutely deleterious. There's a Fardoc toast. So with Aradict weapon tossing consistently with trips on flies, these guys have great synergy, and Stars does the same thing. You'll see Kiid opening up just heavily on these hitters, and it really benefits the Conclave mages when they're opening with all that spell damage.
Yeah, and that's really something you see come into play at the most with against teams with aerials in it, because you saw the match earlier. We've got Deafens
Oh
going
yeah,
off left and right,
yeah,
and
Rogel was absolutely incapacitated because Arodict can deafen the team, right? So he's Rogel made a joke late into the match and he said, "Sorry, I was running around because I was straight hell and killer," which is kind of a good example because Arodict can deafen, he can weapon toss. I think no eyes landed, so just that support alone is huge.
but more my point though was that you see the difference between the teams with the experience and the ones that don't, and that even against things like Deafen, where your team can't communicate, because there was Deafens on both sides, you can really
Yes.
see the difference when the teams that have been together and know what their job is can still manage to effectively do everything they need to do, even when they
Oh
can't
yeah,
communicate with each other.
at the moment, this early into the season, there's huge disparity between two teams like Stars and Brutes, who have retained most of their players. Everybody sort of knows what to do, and the new teams. And that may get a little closer disparity-wise as the season progresses, but right now it's evident.
There's definitely a steep learning curve.
Hmm.
All right, Symiad is getting roughed up a little bit. Bodrum's just getting the chain.
Yeah, there's another withstand proc. Pukje is still in combat. Bodrum's trying to finish him off, but it's not going to work with a mage.
Oh no, he's just chasing him down while Kimpaz gets the free reign to do whatever he wants with the flag. Just run it.
Yeah, yeah, what I can see how this is going to end, which Kimpaz is just going to run caps while the team slowly dies away because they're not going to pick up on that advantage. They're just going to lose in a sort of hourglass fashion as Kimpaz runs flag. So I see this probably being 3-0 because Kimpaz already has that first cap, and none of Gallowglass is dead yet. So that's just going to persist.
And there goes the second flag. He's picked it
Mhm.
up already.
Yeah,
They're
this will be a
just
3-0 score.
unless they can do something. But Ferg has not
There's
been able
Pugji's
to.
death. Yeah, that's definitely 3-0. What if
Unless
Stars
Ferg can,
stacks caps?
yeah, unless Ferg can put Kimpaz down to lay that flag and get some magic happening with the chokes. But
Yeah,
it's
Bodrum's
unlikely.
already on him though.
Oh, that's really unlikely.
Yeah, we're
That's
talking what 400 damage
yeah.
just
Um,
immediately.
yeah, 350 somewhere in that range. That's not going to do him any favors.
Okay,
And
so Stars
Symiad's
is cleaning
down,
house
so
right now, and they got
Ferg
the free
is
cap. So
yeah, Ferg is almost dead. So this is just going to be it.
Ferg's blind.
Kimpaz is going to finish the capture, and they're going to get the next capture before the team's back up. Either Kimpaz or Bodrum could pick up the flag, and just whatever one or two players come out of the prep room to try and stop it are just going to get chained down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and what happened was there was a trickle down death series there. So basically, what happened at this point, Kimpaz already capped, and they just killed the people off that. So they actually have time to just get a 3-0 here probably. If you have Kiid like waiting in their default flag room, he can interrupt while Bodrum and Kimpaz stack caps, and that should be it.
And Ferg was even blinded. I didn't notice that.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah, they blinded him pretty quickly.
I mean, here he's trying to get the kill off on Kiid, which,
That's two.
I mean, it'll be helpful, but it's not going to save the match.
No, no. If anything, maybe try to interrupt the caps a bit until somebody gets in there. But it's already too late, I think.
For sure. It's
They
incredibly
did not
difficult.
stack caps, so that's a little bit of a delay for the other team to get in there.
Well, I understand why. They're expecting them to come at the come one at a time, so they want to let Kimpaz have free reign to chain. versus Bodrum
Yeah.
having to acid blast somebody slowly down.
Yeah, but what just happened is they just lost their main control player. He's not going to be up in time. So basically, Stars could run rescues at this point and probably finish out. You have Symiad who could dirt kick or something, but he's not going to be able to dirt the whole team in time.
No, definitely not.
Yeah, so that's a 3-0.
So
we've had two 3-0s.
It's brutal, but
we've
that's,
had two
that's
3-0s.
Stars.
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Yeah. Stars and Brutes both. And like I said, we've had two 3-0s tonight, and it's two old teams versus two new teams. And obviously there's room for improvement for both Gallowglass and Hydra. They could have played these matches better. But it's also to Stars and Brutes' credit that they have all this synergy. Because even 2.5 years is going to make anybody rusty. So it's impressive that they were able to pick this up so quickly.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just not a very effective roster. I think the lineup that Gallowglass is running against Stars. I mean, you can play your heart out, but I don't know what you're gonna do against that with that roster.
That's true.
Unless
it is their
you have
best
a
team,
monster,
but...
unless the assassin is just an absolute monster. And there we go.
Ferg has been playing pretty well, but it's still not enough.
That's the 3-0.
He's still getting casted on. Yep, that's both teams. Like the old teams 3-0, the new teams, and that's how it is turning out tonight. I expect it to be a little closer toward the half season. Maybe some new strategies will get ironed out. Maybe the players will get used to each other. It's really hard to tell this early, but I would expect it at least to not be quenched so potently.
And that puts the Stars 4-0 this season.
Yeah, and that puts Stars at the number 1 seed. Gallowglass had a little win streak there, but it's overturned tonight.
Yeah, that puts so now we've got Stars are going to be 4-0. We've got right behind them we have Gallowglass and Brutes at 3-1. And then everybody else trailing behind. Hydra and Quicksilver don't have a win yet. Sharks have 1 win.
Is Brutes 3-1 or are they 2-1?
They should be 3-1. It's just not updated yet with tonight's match.
Okay. All right, that's starting to look closer. I would expect Gallowglass to.
I believe I could be wrong about that. Oh,
we can check.
I am wrong about that actually.
Okay, so we have Brutes at 3rd
right now.
Yeah, so what's going to happen is Brutes is going to climb up there into the number 2 seed, and they may even be able to take the number 1 depending on how well it goes. We don't know yet. For the moment, Stars is safely in the lead. I expect Gallowglass to dip a little in the ratings just because the matches that they have won have been a little sketchy, but they're showing. Their main team is showing. They're showing the dedication that they need. They may be able to synergize a little better. It's just that composition-wise, they're one of the weaker teams this season.
And they have a composition that will get them wins against the lower-tier teams, but against Brutes and Stars, for sure, they're going to have problems because everything that they can do is either not going to be effective against the Stars or Brute Squad can just do it better. Because Gallowglass's strength at the moment is going to be healing. Just an endurance composition that just tries to last and make the fight drag out, let their healing overtake where they can kill you, and then you come back in and they're all healed back up. Which was something that another variation of the Gallowglass 2 seasons ago was doing very effectively.
Oh yeah, that was a very strong team. It was Letters, as that half ogre Scald. It was Angel, the jungler, and then they had a priest, I think.
That double bard Song of Healing with ER and then a priest healing. It was very effective, and they don't have quite as strong a lineup for that strategy.
No, and even that strategy was countered toward the finals. It won all that season, and then it got quelled pretty forcefully in the.
They did lose the finals, but again
that was the semis. Yeah.
No, they won the semis. They won the semis against the Brutes because we didn't have an answer for that.
Oh,
actually.
right. I remember now.
Um,
But
but they
they
lost to
lost.
Stars because against the Stars team, that composition is less effective.
Yeah, what was it? 0-3? I just remember it being pretty dominant, whatever team that
I
won the
believe
season.
that I believe they won the semis 3-0 and then lost the finals 3-0 as well.
Yeah,
Let
yeah,
me
that's
pull that
correct.
up.
I'm looking at it now. Granted, the semis, that's just two matches that you have to win. But
And and that was a 3-0 win the first match, a 3-2 the second one. So you could see um, there was some adaptation that happened, but they did have the Brutes kind of on lockdown that season.
yeah, it wasn't enough. And it was an interesting season because Brutes actually remained at the number 2 seed the whole season. Um, so they did pretty well. It was 14-6 for Brutes, 12-8 for Gallowglass, and Stars just dominated that season at 19-1. And then Gallowglass came up. So it is possible for a tier 3 team to come up and get in the finals. And I think that's
Very.
what
It's
happened. That's what happened the last season too, right?
um. No, I don't
No, what
believe so.
happened
I think
was
Stars was
Quicksilver beat Stars out in the semis. So that was
yeah,
pretty streamlined.
yeah. But I mean that's definitely something that can happen, especially because ACFL is less of a rock paper scissors game, or I guess some degree you could say it's more, but it's less than AGL. You know, it's typically there's one guy against one guy, and you generally know about how it's going to happen. You don't have to take into account, on any given match how they're going to handle the next fighter. With ACFL, you have certain compositions. If that's your only composition, you can win some of your matches and make it into the playoffs. But if you only have one trick, once you get into the playoffs and you have to play against the other top two teams, you can get countered pretty hard.
Absolutely, and that did happen with Bloodlust, last Clan Wars, if I remember right. They were at a pretty measly third place most of the season, and then they did come back and beat Justice to face Conclave in the finals, which it's a different type of game. Clan Wars is, but it was still heavily strategy based that way. So it's very much a team versus team composition, and you have to take it each week. You have to make strategies that pretty much conform to your idea of what that team is going to throw at you, which is why Stars has been doing really well in adaptability lately. Just that rescue strategy against Quicksilver, which wasn't going to be a team that beat them anyway, but it did show some versatility on their part. And that's what it takes to win the finals. Consistently changing your game, adapting each game depending on the team, what they're going to throw at you.
And you either have to have one hell of a composition that can take on all comers, or you have to have depth in your roster to change it up. But I think that about does it for tonight, folks. So I will not be here on Sunday, unfortunately. I will try to get Rekla if he wants to broadcast. I will try to get him set up so that he can do it. Bring on a second caster, and
All right, I'll see what I can do. No promises yet,
but if not, what we will try to do is get somebody else to record the matches for us, and I will try to get those commentated at a later date and get those uploaded after the fact. It won't be quite as nice as the live broadcast, but we'll do what we can.
yeah, absolutely. If nothing else, we can get a bit of a late broadcast for you.
And hopefully, I'm hoping somebody recorded tonight. If so, Rekla and I will definitely go back and take a look at Brutes vs. Hydra, because that is a match we want to talk about.
Yeah, I'll do it with head bowed, but I'll be glad to do it.
All right, guys, we're going to sign off. Hope you enjoyed. Have a good night.
All right, good games.